Today we're talking all about self-care, what it is, what it isn't, and why you probably aren't doing enough of it. Welcome to another video. For those of you who are new here, my name is Nina and I'm a life coach that specializes in personal development. Here at this channel, we talk about everything having to do with our emotional well-being, understanding our own psychology, and living our most awesome life possible. So if you aren't already a subscriber, please go ahead and become one. We definitely want you to stay connected. So self-care can really be defined as anything we deliberately do to help us take care of our mental, emotional, or physical health. This video is extremely important and this is a very important topic. So if there's only one video you watch this week, please make it this one and watch it in its entirety because there's a lot of useful information that can really help you in your life. Now, practicing good self-care is really key in helping us deal with anxiety and stress in our life and also for helping us maintain a more positive mood. But we also have to think about what happens when we don't practice good self-care. Now, when there are warning signs for this in the physical health realm, it is more likely that we are going to address these things because they are obvious to the outside world. So, for example, if we find ourselves either losing a lot of weight or gaining a lot of weight, or we find our hair falling out, we probably are going to give that more attention than if it's something that is emotional in nature that other people aren't as aware of. So if it is something that we find that we can actually hide a little bit, we are likely to do that. It's a sad fact, but we often do not fix the things that have to do with mental health. So we could be feeling very overwhelmed, we could be feeling like we just can't do it anymore, but yet we oftentimes really keep on going. So this is where self-care becomes exceedingly important because the alternative is that our body is going to stop for us or we are going to do something that we regret. We may abruptly stop going to our job or get out of a relationship or do something else that is entirely out of character because we are just feeling, again, too overwhelmed and we are not practicing self-care and checking in with ourselves emotionally. So the first thing that we need to do is to really make sure that we are always addressing the 8 dimensions of wellness. Now, our wellness, even though we said our emotional, mental, and physical health, actually is comprised of 8 different elements. And I'm going to link down a video below that we did on the 8 dimensions of wellness, just in case that is a concept that you're not familiar with. But these are the things that we want to be constantly checking in on, making sure that we are practicing self-care in all 8 of these different areas of our life. I think somewhere along the lines, unfortunately, there was some kind of misconception about what self-care actually was, and it kind of got confused with a beauty routine. So I see a lot of times in the media that it is about having a facial or taking a bubble bath or doing some kind of hair treatment. And don't get me wrong, all these things can be used in self-care, but that is certainly just the minimum. That is just one small factor of what we need to be doing within those 8 dimensions of wellness that we really need to be thinking about. So self-care has to go way, way deeper than just these surface things, which again can be relaxing and important, but certainly not a replacement for true self-care. So let's talk about what we can do. And the first thing is that we need to get really clear about what our personal needs actually are. We need to figure out what areas of our life still need work and attention. So the best thing that we can do, or the thing that I find personally the most helpful, and it's something that I require of all of my clients, is to keep a self-growth journal. And you can make self-care part of that self-growth journal. So what you want to think about is, again, all the different things in your life that you feel need attention, and you want to go through that 8 dimensions of wellness and see what things you've been really neglecting, and then you're going to start to solution find. Think about all the possible solutions or the things that could contribute to, making improvements in these areas or to relieve stress in these areas. And you want to go ahead and write down anything, even if it feels, kind of outlandish or you feel that these are things that you would never actually do. Go ahead and put them down because we may be able to actually use these things. And once you've really brainstormed, you can take a closer look and see what things are are actually going to be helpful to you and that you feel comfortable starting to implement, as soon as possible. So some of these things can be really, really simple. They can be things like, you want to add yoga, or you want to make sure that you are meditating every day, or that maybe you need a vacation, or you are realizing you're not spending enough time outdoors, or that you are not making exercise a priority. These are the things that might come out, but it could be things that are much, much bigger than that. It could be things as monumental as realizing you need to change your career, or that you want to move to another state. All these things are actually part of self-care. When we address the true needs that we have in our life, again, both mentally, physically, emotionally, and including all those 8 dimensions of your well-being, that is truly the definition of what self-care actually is. And it is imperative that we truly give it the weight and the attention that it really deserves. There is only one of us, and that means we are fully responsible for taking care of that precious human being that we are. And human beings have so many different needs. Self-care is actually a very, very simple and obvious concept, but yet it is so often overlooked. So one thing that you must remember is that self-care is not selfish. It is absolutely, completely necessary for both your physical and emotional health, and it is something that you need to make sure that you are on top of on a daily basis. So keep that journal by your bed or wherever you need it to be, so that you can have that visual cue to go ahead and write down and check in with yourself to see how you're really thinking and how you are really feeling, and to give yourself the love and attention that you deserve. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like it, share it with someone else who may need to hear this message today. And I would also love to hear your thoughts on self-care and where you feel that you still need more attention and focus on in your own life. Also, if you aren't already a subscriber, please go ahead and become one. We definitely want you to stay connected. And I thank you so much for spending time with me today. I look forward to seeing you soon, and I hope your day is truly awesome.